Hello, everybody. Just Zainab here. No Yasmin, no Noor. Just a girl alone with her thoughts. So welcome back to the time capsule. Doo doo doo. I am not John Cena because you can see me. I hope. Um, I'm just an awkward little girl. But recently, happy August to those who celebrate. If August got lost in the wind for you, I'm really sorry. Like a gust of wind. Or maybe it slipped in memory. I'm actually a really big Swiftie, in case you guys were curious. It's not that I support some of Taylor Swift's actions. Sorry to come for your fave if I'm coming for anyone's fave. But, you know, I really love the environment as we've probably gathered from the past couple of episodes. Even today, I went to the bank and the man was telling me about the AI, and I was like, yeah. He's like, you were going to work in the AI field? I was like, I'm not sure, not too sure, because I care about the environment. He's like, yeah, it's tricky working in tech and caring for the environment. So if anyone knows a career path where I can combine my efforts, I'm definitely curious. Please let me know. And you're probably like, what do you mean? Well, a lot of people in tech work with AI because that is our biggest thing right now. And I think AI is fascinating, but then there's certain implications of it where I'm just like, do you really need to use AI for that? There's like real people out here. Like for example, I know that some things aren't accessible to certain people, like for example, a personal trainer, or you want to make a routine. I would say go to YouTube, go to Google. Maybe you can help curate it yourself. But using AI for like everyday tasks like meal prepping and all that, it's kind of garbage because a you're harming the environment, which I don't know why people don't care about nowadays. They're just like, yeah, the environment's getting harmed, people are getting bombed, all that, blah blah blah. If you're not actively working against the atrocities that are taking place in your everyday life and you're like supporting it or you're like quiet about it, you're a part of the problem. Sorry to say that, you are a part of the problem. I also think, to an extent, I'm a part of the problem, yes. But I try my best to not be. Like, I'll do certain measures. Instead of like always taking the bus, instead of taking the car, I will walk. Obviously, do what's accessible to you, but don't think that your little thing doesn't make a difference. Okay? Everything makes a difference. Boycotting makes a difference. Stop buying from specific brands. I know you can't live without your freaking coffee. Yes, the fuck you can, okay? You can make coffee at home. I will come to your home and make your coffee for you. I'll buy you an espresso with the money I don't have because I've donated it. And even if you can't donate or anything, boycotting is free. Just buy less, consume less. Overconsumption does kill. I'm a part of the overconsumption phenomenon, but I try my best to use everything I have before I consume more. Anyways, here's what I wanted to address. First of all, I've noticed the last couple times the audio is freaking cheese balls. So I hope it is crisp. I hope you feel like you're crunching on some leaves when you hear my voice. I don't know. I feel like August should actually be in autumn and September should be in summer. I know it is technically, but you know what I mean. Like I wish they switched orders. I know August means 8, but doesn't October also mean 8, like octagon? Or am I making that up? Like I love where October is, but I just feel like August and October were meant to be neighbors, not why is September in between them? Sept isn't that 7? I know the Julius Caesar calendar. Julius Caesar calendar. Is that true? Can someone fact check me? I don't have anyone to fact check me. I'm just misinformationing here. Anyways, why am I yapping? The reason I'm yapping is I've just been in a slump. And being in a slump after cuz I graduated college and I graduated a little bit early. I graduated in December. So now it's August, and I had 8 months of doing jack shit. Actually, in all of January, I was in Italy, and then I was in Pakistan until June, May 20th. Then I came back May 20th, and 6 months I've done nothing for myself, for anyone at all. And you're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm sure you've done something for someone. Or like you've worked. No, I haven't. I learned no new skills. I always tell myself every day, oh, we need to make time to learn this. Or you need to do this. You need to lose this much weight before your brother's wedding. All that. And I haven't done anything. It's just like every day evades me. All I do is wake up, doom scroll, eat a lot. Like, it's gone really bad. I've been binge eating again. And when I say again, it's like the last time I really used to binge a lot was during COVID. That was because I had nothing better to do. And I got really into baking, and I just love sugar so much. I've always been a sugar fiend. Like, diabetes is going to get me eventually. Like, when I was 11, this boy told me in my class, he was like, "Oh, you're probably going to get diabetes by 29." And I'm starting to believe he's not wrong, because that's a couple years from now, and I don't take care of my health, which is something I need to be doing. All I do is drink celery juice. You're like, why do you drink it? Is it for health reasons? Yes, but I kind of like it a lot. You're like, what the hell? Who likes celery juice? This gal love it. I think that's one of the things that I do for self care, and all I do is self care. And my mom's been mentioning how I've kind of become a selfish person where, like, if someone asks me to do something, I'll be like so crash out about it. And I don't want to say the B word, but I'll just be like, oh, why do I have to do it? Like, I'll be very nasty and like selfish, which is true. But sometimes people ask for dumb things. Why am I coming home after a long day and you're asking me, can you make me a sandwich? You've been sitting on the couch for 3 hours. Please go make your own sandwich. Yeah. Anyways, this slump, not a good look. One thing that's a big part of slumps is actually maladaptive maladaptive daydreaming. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce words. And you're probably like, maladaptive daydreaming? What's that? You probably know what it is. Do you? Why do I keep saying you? Oh my god. I'm just sitting in my dirty room. I haven't cleaned it in weeks. But what is maladaptive daydreaming? Well, maladaptive daydreaming is where you kind of just like imagine and create scenarios in your head instead of actually doing things and living in the present. And you're probably like, I don't do that. I'm about to describe you a scenario of what maladaptive daydreaming looks like in my life. I tend to wake up around 12 and I will just rot in bed until it's time to get up, which is like 3 or 4 p.m. You're like, what do you do? I will sit on my phone and I'll just watch TikToks and Reels. I had to delete Instagram because of how bad the addiction got. So when I'm not on TikTok, I'm on Reels, which is exactly the same freaking thing. And then after deleting Instagram, after going on those two apps and my daily time limit's like, oh, sorry, you can't be on it anymore. Mind you, my daily time limit is like 2 hours per app. And I always go over it. Like, there's not been a single day where I didn't click the add 15 more minutes or take the limit off for today. Be a peach, take the day off. Um, so after that, I literally sit in my bed, not even sit, I lay in my bed and I think about life. I think about my friends, I think about my family, I think about my future, I think about my past, and I just think. And I don't do anything. And that's how my day escapes me. So I've decided when I wake up in the morning every day now, starting soon, hopefully, I don't know. instead of going to sleep at budget time, I wake up at budget time and I go for a run or something. I don't know. I used to do track in high school, but I kind of hated it because I don't know, I just felt very awkward. Like I kind of have a phobia now of running outside. I just think it's so awkward. Like what if the cars see me running? Like I don't know. I'd rather work out in a gym where everyone is kind of like embarrassing themselves cuz I've seen people at the gym and it's just like kind of a no judgment zone because I see people like doing things wrong all the time. So I feel comfortable being embarrassing at the gym. But out in the public, in the wild, you want me to be frolicking around? Oh no, this can't be. Nuh-uh. But yeah, I think allowing yourself to be perceived is one way I'm gonna get rid of this social anxiety. I don't have social anxiety in the way that you would think. It's like, oh, I'm so embarrassed about everything I say or do. I just have a fear of like running around without any purpose. Like, if I'm running a mile in like some weird direction, I don't know if I'd want anyone to like see me doing that. Like, what if my neighbor's like, oh, I saw you running there, boy, bye, 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 bye. The next thing I kind of want to get into is what I previously touched on is binge eating, where I don't know, this is kind of a vulnerable topic for a lot of people, and I know it looks different in different types of people. For me, it's personally like I will be so bored. I'm gonna go eat, and then my eating just turns into eating random freaking snacks, and you're probably like, what snacks are you eating? Typically, it'll be like, oh, let me have a spoon of Nutella. Let me have another spoon of Nutella. This Nutella would taste really good with crackers. I'm gonna get some crackers. Or sometimes when I make baked goods and they turn out kind of subpar, where I'm just like, oh, I would never serve this to anyone outside of my home, and I don't think anyone in my family would really enjoy this, I will eat it because I hate wasting. And I think part of my binge eating habits come from the lack of intuitive eating, where I've always been told that, like, oh, you're not supposed to waste food, eat all the food on your plate. And it's been really bad for me because I took it literally as a kid. So, typically I would have my brothers around who would eat my food and it would be like, oh, sunshine and rainbows, I can be skinny and food is eaten, so the world is all well. But sometimes my siblings aren't around or they don't want to eat my shit cooking, so then I'll force myself to eat it. Even when I go out with my friends sometimes, she's like, "Oh, I don't want to eat this anymore," cuz she's an intuitive eater. I'll be like, "Yeah, like you're full. I'll eat it because I don't want to waste it. I don't want you to throw it out," because typically she tends to throw it out if she's done with it. And to me that's just so weird because I've always grown out with the motto like you have to finish all the food in your plate, and now I'm eating the food on other people's plates, but just like don't waste food because there's a lot of hungry people in the world. So that's done more damage to me. It hasn't helped me in any way. So I kind of want to work on intuitive eating and not binging as much because out of boredom, I'll just be bored, someone's yapping and I'll just start eating. A movie's playing, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I need to have a snack." Even though I'm not hungry. Half of the times I'm not hungry, I just have an appetite that needs to be fulfilled, especially with sugar. If you put a little bit of cookies, you're like, oh yeah, family size bag I can finish in one sitting. Uh, Talking about my issues on the internet. Do do do. Also, one thing I've noticed is, well, I've been noticing it since birth. Birth is long. I was born 21 years ago. But there is some expectations that come with being a Muslim girl that I feel like I do not fulfill well. And you're probably like, what expectations? What? You probably didn't think all that. But as a Muslim girl, you're expected to be polite, modest, quiet, just like a standard buyer who just looks pretty. Kind of like you're supposed to be a gazelle. You're supposed to be graceful or Giselle. I don't know how you guys pronounce it, but one of those. You're supposed to be graceful and just like have good etiquette. And it kind of renders to being complacent. And I don't think I fit that with my personality. Sometimes I am complacent, but not in like things that trigger me or bother me. And people in my community, they will say like, "Oh, why did a Muslim girl stand up to that?" She has every right to. And this is something that's really been bothering me because as a Muslim girl, like sometimes I just want the autonomy to exist how I am, but then society will just place these like expectations that are like, sister, you're not supposed to be doing this, you're not supposed to be doing that. But like, when did God say I'm not allowed to do this? I get that there's like some sort of haya you're supposed to have in modesty, but like, why are you keeping tabs on us? I don't know if people in other religions feel the same way, but I feel like Mormons, for example, would feel this way. I don't know why, like, I'm just existing and then an extremist will be like, oh, yeah, Muslim girls are not supposed to dress that way. Muslim girls are not supposed to do this. Muslim girls, oh, out in public, alone. Dina Virginia, but obviously we all falter. Currently, I feel like I'm faltering. You're probably like, why? Why? What's wrong? You probably don't care. But I'm going to tell you anyways. I'm faltering because I just feel like where I am in life, I'm not content with it. And as a Muslim, you're supposed to be content with wherever you are in life. And currently, I just feel like when it comes to praying, I don't wake up to pray Salatul Layl, which I used to last year. And I was doing very well last year, I would say, career wise and just like relationships and just, you know, I had like a routine and I just felt like I had purpose. I don't feel like I really have a purpose right now. It's not like, oh, you're so depressed, blah, blah, blah. It's seasonal depression. Girl, it's summer. It's summer. I'm not seasonally depressed. 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 Sorry. I be slurring my words sometimes. I think I have a speech impediment that never got fixed when I was a child. So like sometimes I like to enunciate more, but then other times brr, 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 just gets mixed in with my saliva and it comes out like pressed. So that's what I sound like to some people. Maybe that's what English sounds like to you, or maybe that's just how I talk. I'm sorry, I don't know why I did that, but being in a slump is not fun. And I think currently I'm in a very shitty mental space. As I'm looking at my room, it's kind of a reflection of my mind. I have like not dirty laundry, it's clean laundry, but it's on the floor because I've been too lazy to put it away for the past couple days. And my room is messy. I've been meaning to clean it for a week now. And I'm not one of those people that let it linger for that long. I like to clean because it's the only thing that makes me feel sane. So I will clean my whole house, Cinderella it up. But then when it comes to my room, I always kind of leave it a mess until like someone's coming over. Um Only because like it's just like a reflection of my mind. People say that your room is kind of supposed to be what your head looks like. And my room is very cutesy, but I just feel like it's a performative room. Like a lot of things in my life, they're pretty performative. Recently, I've been kind of unmasking things, and you're like, what do you mean unmasking things? I just kind of am learning to exist with myself and accept myself. I brought out my iPad because I've been trying to do this thing called not jumping from topic to topic because it's like one thing that me and my friend Noor actually do a lot where we'll have a conversation for 5 hours straight and it's mostly us jumping from topic to topic without finishing a thought. And then later I will usually revisit it because I'm like, no, we have more to say about that. You didn't finish your story, blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to hear the rest of your take. But it generally takes like a couple hours to get back. You got to do a whole, a 360. So, no, that is one thing that I currently want to work on. When I say currently, I mean right the freak now. So, today I made a list of things I kind of wanted to address, but I just low key feel like I've said a whole lot of nothing and I'm not the best communicator because for me, yours kind of always communicated my thoughts back to me, and you're probably like, what do you mean? I know how I feel typically, and I'm not afraid to confront someone about how I feel, but my friend has always been someone who, like, I can just tell something to and she'll understand what I mean. No matter how petty it is, she'll always understand my intention. I'll tell her my struggles with consistency or like anything at all, my binge eating, whatever, and she'll be like, yeah, I completely understand you. I've never been seen by someone so clearly, which is why I feel like with her, it's like a friendship that I'll never break. Even though sometimes I feel like we are very rocky, I never want to lose her. And I think we're kind of in a slump together because both of us never leave our houses. And the last time I cleaned my room was when she was over. And if you're watching this, yes, it's been that long. So I'm going to work on making a routine, being consistent, and not being so dead. I do have certain things that I have been doing, like my best friend's getting the old she's balling and they're getting balled and chained or whatever the hell the kids say. I've been prepping for her bachelorette thing. I literally made an Excel sheet and everything, planned it out, but it's been looking like it's not going to happen. And then there was like a last minute change of plans, so the plans are changing now. I wouldn't say last minute. There's been a first minute change of plans, but I like low key had the entire thing planned out. I use my small ounce of type A-ness on it. Type A-ness. That's a knee slapper. But my type A is very rare because I'm very much a type B person. But there are certain things that I feel like deserve my time and energy, and I put my time and energy into that. And I made an Excel sheet with time frames, all that, and then it was just scrapped. And I feel like sometimes shit like that just makes you feel like, damn, like, why did I even apply myself if it was going to be rejected? And I'm not saying that like, oh, like I'm really butthurt. I'm not. I'm a little bit butthurt. I feel like someone's giving me a little nudge in the old bum. But, I'm okay. But it's also like, I just feel that way sometimes. Why did I put energy into doing something if it has no outcome? Which is not healthy because not everything has an outcome. Okay, sometimes it's the thought that counts. And you guys are probably like, no, it's not the thought that counts, it's the actions. I don't know. Sometimes it truly is a thought. As someone who's not a person who likes to use their words, like I will never be a words of affirmation person. And if you're someone whose love language is words of affirmation all the time, or that's your main one, I don't think I'm the friend for you. Only because I'm such an actions gift giving person. Like you were gonna tell me 5 months ago that you really liked this one thing from this movie and it's just the cutest thing ever, and you were just talking about it for like 2 seconds. I'm going to remember it, and your birthday comes around, I'm literally going to buy you it because I should be buying you the whole world, but I can't. And even if I just met you for some reason, I'll be like, oh, like I'm getting this, I should get one for you too, and I'll literally offer to pay for it. And it's so bad because people have literally thought that I like them a lot more than I did because I've done things like these. But that is just my language of giving. Like some people will compliment you. I will not be complimenting you like that. I will. I have now learned that people don't just need one type of love language from you, they need all to be seen, you know? Like you need to give people compliments, but now they kind of come from my heart. I had a hard time expressing myself earlier on in my life, but now I can do it. And I can compliment people with, you know, without it just being like, oh, like my tongue just said it, my brain didn't know. We are all harmonious in here and we are all loving you and complimenting you. Just know I don't give compliments lightly. They're not something that I'm just like, oh, your shoes are cute, nah nah nah. No, like if I tell you like you're the most stunning person I've seen, I mean it. You just have this air around you that makes me attracted to you, makes me want to be around you, makes you someone awesome. I'm not lying, because I don't lie. I may be a lot of things, but a liar is not one of them. I'm getting parched. This lemonade, well, it's iced tea with a lemon slice in it, and there was like barely any ice in it because in my neighborhood, like a block or so away, I was walking today. I went to the duck pond and I got a matcha and I walked around. I got my 10K steps in, which I have not been doing, but my friend, I only have like two friends, so I'm going to use their names. Yasmin, she walks around 10K steps a day, and I was very much inspired by her. So I got this iced tea, no ice, and a lemon. It's really good. And I got it from this child who was selling it for $1.50, which I would say in this economy is a steal. Even though it's I would rate it like a 6 out of 10 because it's very like it needs a little bit more sugar. And I was his first customer, which is so awesome of me because the other day, a week ago, sorry, I don't go outside enough to be saying the other day for me is like when I went outside. But the other day, I went outside with Yasmin and we were driving, and there was a sign we kept seeing that said lemonade that way. And we're looking, and there was no children serving lemonade. So we were like, what the heck? We've been baited. And today, there was one in my neighborhood, and I was like, oh my God, I have to go buy it because this is so like on my mind a week ago. I don't even know why I have my iPad in front of me. I just feel very anxious just talking to myself, even though I always do. Like, I'm always in the mirror. Yep, 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 yep. But usually, I'll just do impressions. I'll just practice like accents and stuff where I'll make up weird scenarios and just do them. I don't know. I will talk to myself. Like, for example, when I'm watching TV or something and I just need something, I emote. When I'm alone, I emote. Where I'll just like, Connie, baby, you didn't have to. Like, I'll be like saying things like that. I don't know if that's crazy of me. Can someone let me know? Uh, I might have some tismtastic tendencies. I think I'm good at picking up social cues, and sometimes I will ignore them. People are like, oh, you just didn't pick up on it. No, I ignore them. Why do I ignore them? Because ignorance is a bliss, and I like to very much cherish my bliss. I will be ignorant as possible to get away with certain things. And you're probably like, why? When something seems like it'll make me uncomfortable or someone else uncomfortable, I will ignore it. Like someone's being creepy but like not in a way that's near to you, or like someone's being weird, there's a weird energy coming from that direction, I'm gonna ignore that direction and keep walking. Why? Because I'm a real New Yorker. Okay, you see something weird going on, yeah, say something if you see somebody getting robbed or something or some shit. But if you see something that is just people being weird together and it's a little bit like, hmm, maybe I should walk across the street. You walk across that damn street, okay? You don't keep going straight. You, okay? Capiche? Which is what I do a lot. So, am I autistic? Maybe one of these days I'll go and get diagnosed. Do I have ADHD? I definitely have to say that I think everyone has ADHD to an extent. Like, if you have TikTok, pretty sure your attention span is in the gutter. But ever since I was a child, I could never sit through a movie. And you're probably like, what do you mean? I would fall asleep as I'd watching a movie, as I'd be watching a movie. But not all movies. I guess I just wasn't interested in those ones, so I'd fall asleep. Whatever movies my siblings put on, I'd just knock out. Or like now, if I'm at a gathering and I get bored, I start yawning and I get really tired. And you're probably like, "That's so rude! Like you're out and there's other people. You're at someone's house and you're just yawning." I know it's really rude of me, but I cannot help it. Like I don't know, is that a symptom of something? Please let me know if that's a symptom. I want to correct myself. I want to be better. Maybe I should get diagnosed. I think there's definitely something cuckoo up here. Also, recently I've been posting on TikTok barefaced without any concealer, which is one of my, I think it is my biggest insecurity. Like being fat, binge eating. Yeah, that's a problem that I have, but like not everyone can see it. Like some people will like be like, "Oh, she looks a little bit fatter today. She looks a little bit chunkier. She looks a little bit skinnier." But with my weight, it's definitely something that I can control. I know not everyone can control it, but me personally, I know I can control it if I actually put the effort into my life to do so. Now, with my dark circles, not so much because I've tried all the eye creams, I've gotten microneedling done, I've gotten other things and gotten no, I've just tried all the eye creams and stuff like that. Gotten like the vampire facials, which is I think it is microneedling. Yeah, I've gotten that done and none of it really worked. And you're probably like, why didn't it work? Because my dark circles are genetic. I've had them since I was 9, and I just feel like I've always been the ugliest girl in the room. And you're probably like, why do you feel that way? Like you're not that ugly. I'm I'm basically masking my own insecurity by wearing this concealer, but I've always felt like the ugliest girl in every room, and I feel like someone out there probably feels the same way, even if it's like about their weight or whatever. Probably have like a birthmark or a pimple, just cystic acne, whatever, something that you can't really control. And if I had the chance to get rid, it's not that like I feel ugly. It's more so that I just feel like I'm not human sometimes and I have something that's so exaggerated that I don't even feel like a person. And as soon as I put on my concealer, all of a sudden I feel like everyone is nicer to me. I get like not privileged, but I just feel more human. People aren't asking me questions about like why are your eye why is under your eye so dark? Why is it a whole circle? And you know they're bad when little kids literally ask you and you just have to tell them like, yeah, I was crying and my mascara slipped because for some reason people don't want to know it's genetic, but I've had it since I was 9 and they just got worse over time. Actually, they got worse over time and then they got better. The skinnier my face became and the more like I think in high school they were probably the worst because I just didn't sleep that much. Well, I did sleep. I actually always slept a lot. Always sleep like 10 hours because my parents would make me go to sleep early because they're like, "Oh, it'll help get rid of your dark circles." It never helped, but I always got my 8 hours in. And now if I don't get like 10 hours, I'm like literally not okay. But for some reason, when I was in Italy, I was getting 6 hours. My skin looked so good. My dark circles were dark, but like, you know, it wasn't that like you couldn't see them under my concealer. And sometimes, like right now, you probably can see them under my concealer. But I've just been trying to be more okay with how I look. And it's not like body positivity, it's like body neutrality, which is something that I think everyone should kind of have. Like, you don't have to be the most perfect, most elegant looking person in the room, but you need to be okay with looking at yourself in the mirror and not wanting to cry and tearing yourself apart every time. You just need to look at it and be like, oh yeah, that's me. And I haven't been doing that, so I'm trying to. But sometimes it's hard because I'll look at myself in good lighting and I'll be like, oh, yeah, it's fine. As soon as I turn the camera a little bit, I'm like, whoa, 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 who is that raccoon on my screen? And sometimes I just feel like I'm a total catfish because of my concealer, because there have been instances where people have seen me with my concealer and then without it, and they just don't recognize me, or they see me without it and then I put on concealer and they're like, who is that? You know? It's that big of a difference. I'm sorry guys. But some people, this one time in Iraq, and believe it or not, when I went to Iraq, I did not wear any makeup, and you're probably like, why? Because it was more of a spiritual thing, and I just felt like God don't need to see me with makeup on. And there was this one girl, she's like, oh, I recognize you from this wedding, a wedding from like a couple years back. And I was like, a wedding? And she was like, yeah, you were at that wedding. And I was like, yeah, I was. But like, I asked her, like, how did you recognize me? Because I'm wearing no makeup, and at that wedding, I was wearing like a shit ton. Like, I had the whole foundation, I had lashes on, and everything. And she was like, you look the same. And it's like, I look the same? And she was like, yeah, like, you have a very distinct face. Like, I recognize you, like, your cheekbones and whatever. I was like, yeah, but I don't know. Actually, I didn't say anything beyond that point. But in my head, I was like, wow, I didn't know that people had that ability. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm always pulling a Clark Kent. So I was very astonished when she said that. And I was kind of like happy, like, wow, you still recognize me. Some people say it's my mannerisms, or um, I'm the same person, just like maybe less confident. I don't know what it is. I think I'm just as carefree without it, but sometimes I am scared. When I came back from that trip, I went to someone's house after and I didn't wear any makeup. So I thought a lot of people would not recognize me, but people recognized me just fine. They were like, oh, hey, Zainab, how are you? And I was just very confused because not my whole life, but for the past 4 or 5 years, I've just been under the impression that me with concealer is a completely different person. And if I don't wear concealer to places that I always wear concealer to, people will not know who this is. It felt so good to just exist in your own skin without someone placing judgment for once, because I've always been judged for it, hence why the concealer came. I remember when I was 13 and my parents literally took me to a plastic surgeon. To be fair, the dermatologist told them to go to a plastic surgeon. They're like, what can we do? And then the doctor, he grabbed my face, 13-year-old me. My parents picked me up from school early so we can go to the doctor. And he just started saying, yeah, it's because her fat is like this. We can't do anything about it. Maybe there's some treatment now. And honestly, if there is, I would probably opt to go for it. And you're probably like, what? No, be a confident person in your skin that God gave you. Yes, I've tried, but if there's an easier way than just like wearing concealer every day, and you're like, oh, how long does concealer take putting on? It takes like 10 minutes max to put on my concealer and all that. But like some days I just want to wake up and go tackle the world. I don't want to wake up, put on my concealer, and then tackle the world. I just want to be able to do it. When I have to pray like midday prayers, like, okay, I prayed Dhuhr and then I want to pray Asr in a couple of hours, and for some reason I've used the bathroom or something, then I can't because I have my concealer on. I just wish I didn't have to experience that. Like, if there was a permanent solution to my problem, so I can just like pray whenever I want without worrying about my makeup coming off or taking it off and reapplying it or whatever, I'm 100% into that. Also, one thing I want to do that I've not been doing is reading Quran. Like, that is no. One thing I need to really do is make a routine. Once I have a routine, I will be sharing with you guys because I'm a shitty routine, Micah. So I just kind of wanted to end off with, to all the beautiful women out there, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I don't know, this was week 3 of how I feel about life. Hopefully, I don't feel like this in a year, maybe even a month. Yeah, bye. I don't know why I did that.